Well, welcome back to Thoughts While Thinking. I saw this picture, and it kind of reminded me of the day that they almost tarred and feathered my dad and sent him out of town on a rail. Uh, he was sitting around the old country store, and we was talking about the drought and all that stuff, and there's my dad, me, and about that time, and my sister. Uh, but I was about, I guess I was probably about 8 or 9 there, somewhere in there. But anyway, they were talking about the drought and how bad the cotton crop was and how small it was and everything. And that's it. Old country store there. Uh, the one that they have is pretty much just like that. I don't have a picture of the actual one there in Petty, but anyway, they were sitting around talking about all that drought and stuff, and my dad said, well, the general run of his cotton crop was about 6 foot tall and was just loaded with bowls. And they thought, well, man, that guy is crazy, goofy, and so forth. And they argued around there for a while, and they finally decided they probably needed to go look at that. And there's the old tractor I first drove when I was about 9 years old and plowed in the field. Uh, it was a little bit better shape than this one here, but it's pretty much just like that. Anyway, we just moving on. So they all got together and said, well, we'll just, and I think they'd bet a dime or a nickel or something like that, whether or not my dad was goofy, lying, or whatever. And so they got on out to the place where my dad was farming, and he had that windmill and that old tank out there that's on the edge of the cotton field where the water was running over the rim of the tank, and there was one big old cotton stalk just loaded with bowls about 6 foot tall. And he says, gentlemen, I just want you to meet General Run. And I'm telling you, they had one kind of a fit. They called him a fraud. They called him everything, and they was laughing, and he was laughing, and all that kind of stuff. And it was kind of funny about that time. They just paid off and went on about their business and stuff. And my dad just laughed about that because had a real dry sense of humor, and he was funny, and he was always pulling some real weird stuff. One time I remember them sitting around the old country store across from the gym, and they was talking about all that kind of stuff, and they was talking about this one old gal that was, I don't even remember who she was, but anyway, they were talking about how ugly she was. And I remember this, and I'll never forget it. My dad, in a real serious manner, looked up at all of them and said, look, fella, she can't help how she looks. And he paused a little bit, and then he said, but you could stay at home. And they all just broke up laughing, and that was kind of the sense of humor they had back in those days. And I kind of look back at all that stuff while thoughts was thinking, and thought that was funny enough that it ought to be brought to your attention, because I think you enjoy that old story about the drought in South Plains, Texas, and how they could find a little bit of humor in a bad situation. So anyway, that's Thoughts While Thinking today, and I hope you have a happy and see you